Okay, so pretty noisy here, so stay with me. To turn it on, we're just going to short press the on off button. And you can see it starts to load and we just wait for it to turn on. Okay, once it's turned on, it's going to open in the map view. So this is the map view and you can see this blue arrow here is our location. So first things first, to get onto our, change our page, we're going to press quit. And if we keep pressing quit, then we can scroll through all the different options. I'm going to go to main menu and then set up. So to enter setup, I press enter. Now you can set everything here, but what I'm going to show you first is our position format. So here in Indonesia, again, I'm pressing enter. I have ours set to decimals and minutes, and then we're using the WGS 84. But you can change it depending on where your location is. Okay, so to get out of this, we're going to press quit. And then my arrow keys, we have our measurements set up in the metric system because we're British. You can set the time, etc. All the different things are in your main menu. To get out of main menu, we're going to press quit and then quit again until we get our page sequence scrolling, and then we keep pressing until we get back to our map. So to make a point, we're going to press mark, and the point is going to be made where you are, so where the blue arrow is, and then I use my arrow keys. Where it's highlighted in blue is what you're editing. So I've scrolled to the top here and I press enter to make my point. So this first point we're going to call hi. I'm just using my arrow keys and the enter button, and then I scroll down to done and press enter. Can also change my symbol in here, I enter again, and then scroll down to done, highlighted in blue, and press enter. If I zoom in now, there is hi where I just made it. Okay, I'm going to move a little bit now for the demonstration. You can see the blue arrows moving because that's us. So I've lost sight of the blue arrow. I'm going to press the out button. And there I am. So this is my location. I've moved, and then in to zoom back in again. So I want to make a point here. So I press mark and do the same thing again. I'm just going to rename my point to bye. Press done and then scroll down to done and press done again, and there's bye. So zoom out with my out button. This is my house, the White House. There's a point already on there. And the point I just made hi, I'm now 12 meters away, and my blue arrow is on top of bye because I've just made that there. Okay, I've moved inside now. You can see this arrow flashing on my location. This means that the GPS is not connected to the satellites. So we want to check first if we see this symbol. We should check anyway. That our GPS is connected before we start taking any points in the field. So I'm going to press quit to scroll to the satellites. You can see it actually says acquiring satellites. I really don't have any. So we're just going to go outside now and see if we can get our GPS to connect. Well, there we go. Okay, so I want to correct myself. The coordinate system we're using is hemisphere, degrees, and decimal minutes, so latitude and longitude. You can change it to anything you like. Okay, so GNSS is the Global Navigation Satellite System, and this is our accuracy of the GPS, this 10 meters. So you can see, I'm in a pretty noisy village, so I have to keep pausing. You can see here this number is changing a fair bit. Now this is the accuracy of your position connected to the satellites. Now we're starting to get some green bars here and some green satellite symbols here. This means that the GPS is connecting. But this accuracy number for this new GPS, new 65S GPS, this can go as low as 1.8. We're almost there. See, we're 1.9. Older models can go as low as 3 meters for your accuracy, but we want to really try and get it as low as we can, which for this model is 1.8. So this is now as accurate as we're going to get. You can also see here my elevation, but we want to just make sure we always go onto this screen before we start taking any data to make sure that our GPS is actually connected to the satellites and that all of the the location data we're taking is accurate. Okay, so to get out of this screen, we're just going to press quit and keep scrolling until we find our map again. I don't need to press enter, it will just load. And again, this is my location. So if I zoom out, you can see the points that I made earlier. Now, if I needed to navigate to one of these points, I'm going to move my white cursor over to the point I want, which is high, and then I press enter. And you can see it says go. So I'm going to press enter again. And now I have this pink line from my location to the point high. And this will move with me. You see it's already moving because I'm changing. It's working out what direction I'm facing. And I just follow this line until I reach my destination. Okay? Really good if you get lost in the forest. To exit this navigation view, we're going to press find. And then scroll to stop navigation. Now, if I can't see the point that I want to navigate to, because I've only got 3 points, but actually if you zoom out here, you can see I have many, many points on my GPS. I don't have to scroll manually to the one that I want. I can also press find and then select waypoints by pressing enter. And this gives me the list. So I'm just going to scroll down to a random one. I know this one's quite far away. You can see the distance from my location is 381 meters. So I'm not going to scroll to find this one. I press enter and then I press enter again. And now you can see I have a line all the way from me here to, I can't do this with one hand, to Gaib is his name over there, 382 meters away. So it's straight line distance, right? But it will move as you move in the forest. So you might find you have to turn left and turn right. And again, to exit this view, we press find and stop navigation. And then we just go back to our map view. So I'm super zoomed out right now. And this white cursor will zoom me in where I want to go. So if I wanted to zoom in over up the top here, which is 400 meters away, then I put my cursor there and I zoom in and it will bring me here. Okay, you can still see I'm this far away. Okay, I can't see my own location anymore. And then I zoom out and I find myself. I put my white cursor back on my blue arrow, which is my location, and then I zoom in and it brings me back down here so that you can navigate to what view you want to see. Okay, so now that I have my 2 points here, high and by, we are going to measure the distance between them. So first, I'm going to put my white cursor on my start point, which for this is going to be high. And then I press the menu button and I scroll to measure distance and I press enter. Now, if I move my arrow keys, you can see that it's measuring. So I just put my white cursor now on the by point and you can see the distance is 12 meters. Or if I wanted to move it to the White House, that distance is 11 meters. And I'm all the way down here, but I could also do it to my own location, which is about 27 meters. So once you've found the distance to your first point, if you had multiple points, we can do the triangle. So we put it on the second point and then we press enter. Now, when I move my cursor, it starts a new measurement, you see? So I have the first distance is 12 meters from high to by, and then the second one is, it says 12, it's probably closer to 11 something because our total distance is 23 meters. So we've got 12 and 12 and then total distance 23. And I press enter again and I can keep going. So you could do this for as many points or whatever that you needed to do it for. And it will give you the total and then it will give you the distance of each segment. Now to exit this, we're just going to press quit and we go back to our normal map view. Okay, so I made these points earlier. If I realize now that there's something I need to change about one of these points that I made, I can edit it. So I'm going to put my white cursor on so that it's selected and I press enter. And now instead of pressing go, we're going to press menu. And now I can edit it. So I press enter to select edit. And this gives me the same view that I had when I actually made the point. So I can change anything in here. Or if I press menu again, I can delete it or I can move it. and some other things. So if we wanted to move it, we want it blue highlighted and press enter. Now it's going to move where I put it on my white cursor. So if I made a mistake and buy is actually much closer to high, you would need to know this, you can't guess. You put your cursor by high and then you press enter, and there you go. Now they're really close together, you see? And that's done. And to exit this screen, we just press quit. We don't want to press enter because it will move it again. So now that I've moved it, I'm going to directly press quit. And quit again. And quit again. And now we're on our main map view. I'm just pausing and editing to add that I have been using the quit button in this demonstration to flick through the different pages, but actually that's what the page button is for. So I'm teaching you my bad habits. So either or works. You can use the page button, that's what they put it there for, but I do tend to use the quit button because once I enter something, I then want to go backwards out of it using quit. But that is what page is for, is page is only going to scroll through the sequence and nothing else. Okay, so I don't have tracks showing on my GPS because it gets very busy. But if you wanted to see your tracks as you're moving, then we're going to go to the main menu by pressing quit. And then we're going to enter the setup menu and go to tracks. You can see mine says record. So it is recording my movement, but it's not showing me on the screen. So I can either turn it off completely or I can change it to show on map. And then we're going to quit to go back out to our map view. Now we're probably not going to be able to see much, but you can see I've moved around a little bit while I've been filming this video. So this is now my tracks. Before they were still recording, you just couldn't see them on the map. Now, if we want to manage all the tracks that we have, we go back to main menu, but we don't enter setup, we go to track manager. We enter track manager, we can see our current track, we can save it, we can view it on the map, we can delete it completely, all these different things, change the color if it was really important to us, and then view it on the map, and you can see the total distance, and here it is. And we can also see any saved. Now, we don't save our tracks, so these are just automatic ones from our GPS, but you could save specific tracks, and if you go into enter, you can change the name, you can delete it, you can see it on the map, etc. Okay, so this one was for quite a long time. So that's tracks in there. What else do I need to show you? Okay, so I've been showing you how to scroll through your page selection using the quit button, but this is set up the way that I want it. So if yours is not set up like that, you need to go into setup, and if you scroll down here, you can choose what screens are on your page sequence. So I like to have map and satellite, the rest are just and main menu, the rest are just automatic, but there's lots of things that you can choose from. So if you're going to be really some interesting things, if you're going to be using some of these things more regularly, like a stopwatch perhaps, then you can choose to have those on your pages so that you can just easily scroll through them instead of having to go into main menu every time. Okay, final things is if when the GPS is turned on, if we press the on off button, then we can see our battery and our GPS signal, also the date and time, and then our backlight, and we just flick. It's hard with one hand. If we keep pressing this, we can change our backlight signal, and then finally long press to turn off. And there we go.